Hello everyone, this is Manoj. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll discuss and talk about the SQL Server Basics. So, if you have any knowledge about SQL Server, that is okay. If you don't have any knowledge, then no need to worry. In this video, I will discuss all the basics related to database, table, insertion, deletion, updation, how you can select a particular record. So I'll talk about each and everything. And after this video, you will be able to implement that knowledge in any project. So let's start the SQL Server first. So if you don't have SQL Server in your machine, then you can go to Microsoft.com website and download the latest version. So I'm using Microsoft version 18. So once you open that SQL Server, so this kind of interface will come. And for this video, I'm connecting my local server. So this is the Object Explorer. So it will display all the database list. So just wait for a moment. So you can see these are local databases. So let's open the new query. So here it will open a new query window. So here we will write all our queries. So let's start with a database. So the command is create database. So as of now, I'm creating device management. So this is my current project module. So I'm giving you the exact idea what I'm doing as of now in my office modules. So create database, then database name, and then hit F5 or this execute button. So this will execute our command. You can see command completed successfully. And if you click on this drop down, so you will see your database over here. So you can see device management. Select this. Now we will create a simple table. So create table device. So the first name is device name. Let's remove that word device because we are only creating this for device. So that would be a varchar type model varchar, and let me make it uppercase, brand purchase date. So date, time, and price. So for price we will use double, or let's say decimal, and 18 comma 2. So it will take your price up to 18 digits, and 2 means up to 2 decimal places. So close this, select the command, hit F5 or execute. So command completed successfully. Come down. Now let's try to access all the columns. So to access all the columns, we will use select star from device. So once we execute this command, so whatever field or you can say column names we have given, it will display all of them. All right. So now, so we have created a database, we have created our table name device. Now let's try to input some data. So insert into device. So there are two ways. Let's say if you directly give your values. If you don't want to specify any particular column, then you have to give values all of the columns, whatever you have given to this table. So let's say mobile model is, let's say, Apple, brand is also Apple or iPhone. It will give much sense. and purchase date, let's say I'm using inbuilt function get date, so it will take current date time, all right? And let's say price is 20,000. Select the command and execute. Once again, select this, select stuff from device, execute. So you can see the values whatever we have given over here, those are displayed here. So now let me copy this one and paste. Let's say if you only want to give values for name and model, you don't have any value for brand, purchase date and price, then how we can do that? So after the table name, inside this bracket, we have to specify the column names for which we are going to provide values. Let's say name and model. So let okay, the mobile, and instead of iPhone, let's say Samsung M20, which I am having as of now, my one of the favorite phone, and price is, let's say, 30,000. Sorry, we only specify name and model, then we only have to provide two values, one for name, one for model. So now select the command and execute. So now if you select the device table, so you can see we for this second row we only have name and model. We don't have anything brand, purchase and price. So by default, if you don't provide any value for any particular column or field, then SQL Server automatically put null for that particular value. So this is how we can give or we can insert the values. Now for this, let me also tell you, for every table, we should have a unique column by which we can use our updation, deletion, or selection. So let me give a ID column. So there are two ways. There are two type of IDs. Let me share with you. So let's add another column. So alter table device. So once you created a table, and after that if you want to add another column, then we have to use alter command. So let's say alter table device add ID. So that would be int, and that would be auto incremented. So 1 comma 1. I'll tell you why I'm using 1 comma 1, and let's also make it primary key. So it will not be use any duplicate key. So every column or every particular field will be unique. So if I execute this, so let me tell you why I put 1 comma 1. So whatever column I will use, so it will start the auto increment number from 1 and also increment 1. So let's say, let me execute this first, and if I select this one, so you can see it automatically provide ID 1 and 2. So this was the first row, so it automatically gave it 1, and for this row it gave 2. So let me copy this again, and let's say if I insert another row, HP ProBook, and if I execute this command and let's select all the data, so you can see it automatically provide number 3 because it is auto increment. Int identity means identity will auto increment all the rows. So you can see it starts from 1 and increment by 1. So 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3. So this is how you can use your auto increment column. So now the another identity column is, let me add another column. So let's say alter table device add, let's say device ID is the column name, and for this we will use data type as unique identifier, unique identity, unique identity, and that is the data type. And for this we will use default value as new ID. So if I try to select new ID, so every time the SQL Server will generate this unique ID based on some inbuilt logic. So you can see every time when you execute this, you will get a unique value. So instead of this 1, 2, 3 identity column, we can also use this. And in most of the projects, the developers are using this unique identifier because that is unique. So let me delete this. And if I execute this command, and let's say, so device ID has been added, and let me copy paste this, and let's add this column in the list. And for unique identifier, you only need to provide a keyword default, nothing else. It automatically take that value because we have default set that unique ID method. So if I execute this and select star from device, you can see we got a unique identity for this particular row. So I have shown you one is int identity, which automatically increment one and the number which you have provided after this comma, and another one is unique identifier. So by this you will get this kind of unique value which is generated from SQL Server itself. So now come to this select part. So there are multiple ways by which you can select or get the data from a table. So if we use star, then it shows all the values or all the rows, whatever it contains, it displays in your query analyzer window. So let's say if you only want to display name, model, brand, or you only want to get name, model, brand, and to provide it to your front end. So how you can do that? Let's copy this command and paste it over here and here. So name, model, and brand. So if you only execute this, so you'll only get these columns: name, model, brand. So there are, let me again run both the commands. So by upper command, we are getting the entire table data, and by this second command, we are only getting 3 columns. All right. Now, if you want, let's say here, let me copy this. Let's say if you want to sort your table by ascending or descending, how you can do that? Let's say then order by which column? Let's say by name. If you don't specify any order, so it automatically takes ascending order. If I execute this, so you can see L comes first in alphabetical order. So L with the whatever values start with L, they come first. And if I specify, let's say I'm copy and paste and then descending, and for ascending, ASC is the keyword. So if I execute both of them, so you can see by ascending, the L come first, and if I use descending order, so M come first. So this is how we can sort our table based on ascending and descending order. Now let's execute the entire table. If you want to get this row, let's say HP Pro Book with the ID 3, how you can do that? Let's copy this. So where here we will use the where clause. So where ID equal 3. So if you execute this command, so you'll only get one row. If I execute both of them, so this is the entire table data. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rows are there, and by this particular command, you will only get data with the ID 3. If you change it to 4, then it will display the ID 4 data. So this is how you can use your where clause. And you could have multiple where clause. So let's say by with ID you also want to filter that with name. So let's say not name. Okay, let me give and name equal not laptop. If I provide mobile, so let's say what happens. So no row is coming. Why is that? Because the ID 4 is present, but with 4 ID we don't have any name with mobile. You can see the mobile is only having ID 1 or 2, so that is why no row is coming. If I change it to laptop, so it shows the row number 4 because the ID is matching with 4 and name is matching with laptop. So this is that is why we are getting row number 4. So this is how you can use a multiple where clause. Like I'm using ID and name. So let me also add some prices. So how we can update? So far we have created a database, we have created a table, we have seen how we can select or get data in multiple ways, how we can sort our data by ascending descending order, how we can insert data, insert the entire data, insert specific data, how we can add columns if you already created a table and still you want to add any columns, so how you can do that, how we can use auto increment column, how we can use unique identifier column. All right, so now let's come to update statement. So let's say if you want to update this particular row and you want to update that price column, how you can do that? So there is a command update and then table name. So in our case we are using device and then set. This is the keyword. Which column you want to set? Let's say price, and if I'm giving, let's say 15,000. So let me copy and paste this. If I execute this command, what will happen? Let's see, select this, 4 rows affected. And if I select this, let me copy this statement down. So you can see it has updated all the rows or whatever data that table contains. It has updated the price with 15,000 for all the rows. Why is that? Because we didn't provide any specific value or any specific, unique record by which it will check which particular row it want to update. So here, let's say if you want to update only this row, Samsung M20 with the price 20,000. So here we need to specify any unique value. So in our case, we are using ID as unique. So for this Samsung M20, we have ID 2. So let me give ID 2. And if I select this, so you can see only one row affected. Why is that? Because with the ID 2, we only have one row in this entire table. This one, you can see this ID is 2. And you can see the price has been updated from 15,000 to 20,000. So let's update another. So as we use multiple where clause here, we can also use multiple where clause while updating any record. So let's say if you want to update column 3, sorry, ID 3 and where model is equal to Samsung M20. If I provide M30, let's execute this. You can see 0 row affected because that Samsung M30 it didn't match with any value in this model column. All right. So if I again reverse to M20 and if I execute this, still. Why is that? Let's check. Because for this ID we have HB ProBook. So let's copy this HB ProBook and now update, one row affected. Let's try to check the data. So for, okay, let me change it to 25. So it will be uniquely identified. So now you can see for this HP ProBook with the ID 3, the price has been updated to 25,000. Earlier it was 15,000. So same way, let me copy and for 4, let's add 40,000. Expensive mobile, you can see the item having ID 4 has been updated to 40,000. So this is how you can update your tables data by where clause entirely. Let's say if you let me add another column, or let me also tell you why when you will use to update the entire table, what should be the case. So let's say if I had any column, so add minimum price. All right, so let me give decimal 18 comma 2. So if I select the table, so you can see minimum price is null. So for this, let's say if you want to set any minimum value for any particular field, so for that you need to update the entire table. So let's say minimum price you want to set 10,000, and if I execute this command, so you can say for row affected, select star from device. So you can now you can see for every model or every item, the minimum price is 10,000 rupees. You can update this price, but the minimum price is 10,000. All right. So this is how, at this kind of case, you will need to update the entire table without any where clause. So now comes to deletion part. So let's say if you want to delete this row, if you don't have this item, or this item is not longer in the market, so if you want to delete this particular record from the table, how you can do that? So there is a command, delete from table name. Table name is device where, again, so if I execute this, so it will delete all the data whatever present in this table. So I don't want to do that, because we logically we only delete a particular record, all right, based on some operations, based on some requirement. So let's say this model or this particular item we don't deal in, so we need to delete it. So where id equal 4. So if I execute this command, you can say one row affected, and if I again go back to select star from device, you can see the item with the id 4 has been deleted. All right, so this is how you can delete. Again, here you can also use another field. So let's say where name equal laptop. If I again execute this, zero row affected. Why is that? Because we don't have any record with the ID 4. So that is why zero row affected. So this is how you can use your SQL queries to start with any project, because generally in every project you need to create a database, you need to create tables, and you need to insert data. But here I just you know shown you how you can directly or manually input data, but in real world applications or in real projects, this data comes from our front end applications. Let's say I'm using React, all right, React, Angular, jQuery, or the C Sharp, ASP.NET, MVC. So from that application, you will post that data into these tables. Again, if you want to alter this data, so this is how you can alter your columns This is how you can add a column. Let's say if you want to delete this minimum price, how you can delete that. So instead of this add, you can use drop column. So you don't need to specify the data type. So if you execute this command, so it will delete this minimum price from this table. So let me execute the table first. So we are having minimum price, and if I execute this and select star from device, so that minimum price has been gone. So this is how you can alter your table. This is how you can update your particular record or the entire table, and this is how you can delete your particular row. Let me also show you how you can delete the entire table. If I execute this delete from device, let's execute this now. Select star from device, you can say the entire data has been deleted from this table. So this is the basic difference between delete star from and delete from device with where clause. So this is about today's video. I hope you like it. If you did so, hit the like button, share, comment, and if you have any query regarding SQL Server, regarding React.js, .NET, MVC, jQuery, so feel free to contact me on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is Open Programmer. You can also find this in my channel description. With that, I also do paid services in project and assignment. So if you are in college or if you are doing some internship for your company and you are having facing some problems with your projects, so you can directly contact me on my Instagram handle or in my email. You can also find my email in the channel description. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.